welcome back, everyone. So I'm chatting with Ahana, and we were just talking about her life growing up in teens and how hands-on and how active she was, and that's what helped her in the movies. So Ahana, let me just dive in straight to your career now. You started your career with Youth, with Big B. I mean, seriously, to start start a movie with Big B, and then your breakthrough was Lipstick Under My Burqa. So how was it like? Completely different roles. Yudh was completely different, and all the other roles that you have made are very different from Lipstick Under My Burqa. And so let's talk a little bit about how was it with acting with Big B, and then how was Lipstick received by the audience?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, if I have to begin from the beginning, it has to obviously be from my debut, which a lot of people don't know was actually a film called The Blueberry Hunt. It was a film opposite Nasiruddin Shah, who
Wow.
also happens to be my mentor. Yeah, and we shot for that film. I got out of film school and I was studying in Whistling Woods, and he offered me that film, I think, within a few months of being out of the film school, and I was just completely like taken over, and I was very like overwhelmed that I got a call from Sir, and he asked me to come and meet the director. The film was shot in Vagaman and we were shooting in Kerala. And that's when I really got close to Nasir sir, because we were staying in a little Gurukul and he was staying in a hotel. The entire cast and crew was staying in a little Gurukul. If you've ever been to Vagaman, or if you I don't know if you've ever been to Kerala in your life. So in Kerala, like,
Bucket
yeah,
list.
I know. So there's a city called Vagaman. There, like, it's basically a hill station and it's a tea estate. So it's got lots of tea estates. It's got little gurukuls. So Gurukul, they call it Gurukulam. And we were all staying there. It's like a school, but like a boarding school. So you stay there because everybody gets one room. It was a very small indie film. And he was staying like in a nice resort. And he literally left that resort and he was like, I want to stay where everybody's staying. Because he was staying there alone. And he would get bored, and he's also a very social person. So I actually began my career there. That's when I started working with Sir. And there were lots of, like, it was literally like classroom again for me, and literally like hands on, because I was on, on set, and whatever I had learned in class, I was actually like, doing that as a practical. Theory versus practical is exactly what happened with me when I did Blueberry Hunt. That film never released even after Lipstick. So that actually is my debut, but that didn't come out. So therefore, like, a lot of people don't talk about it. My second work was with Bachchan Sahab. So here I have worked with Nasir sir, then I worked with Bachchan Sahab. So it really was like, I started doing theatre in the middle, and Anurag happened to see one of my plays. He saw me on stage and then offered me Yudh. And that also I just happened to get. I've just been sometimes really lucky that I got these parts, because suddenly somebody saw some work somewhere. Um, and I remember I was going to Anurag's. I had kept a little dog. I was fostering that little puppy in Anurag's office in Aram Nagar, and I used to go to feed that dog. And I bumped into Anurag, and he just kind of was like, "Will you play Bachchan Sahab's daughter's part?" And I said, "In what?" He's like, "I'm doing a show. Will you play his daughter?" And I was like, "Do you don't even know me?" He's like, "I've seen your work," and I was like, "Okay, this is really strange." Anyway, so he asked me to go to Mukesh's office and audition for that part, and I got Yudh. And I think about a week from then, I was just shooting for Youth for about, we shot for that show for about a year and 3 months, because of Bachchan Sahab's dates, and a lot of back and forth was happening. And I think I got very close to Bachchan Sahab through the shoot of that show. I think for me, Bachchan Sahab is probably one of the greatest mentors I've ever worked with. What I learned from him was that, just sar jhukhao aur kaam karo. Hard work always pays off, today, tomorrow, whenever, it will pay off. So don't be in a hurry to become a star. It will happen when it has to happen, and I think it will take its course. So I think it's really like in everybody's kismat to get that kind of uh, stardom, and it will happen as and when it has to happen, but you must continue doing your work. And I've learned that from both Nasir sir and Bachchan Sahab. And Bachchan Saab, I have to say, like, a lot of people in the film industry, and I keep saying this, people sometimes don't respond to your messages, people don't respond to your calls. Bachchan Saab is that one human being, if I message him right now, he'll reply to me promptly. And, and the first person to wish me on my birthday since 2015 has been Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. And I feel like, at 12 o'clock sharp, I get the first message is his before my parents. And I feel that, if he does it, I think a lot of people can be prompt about replying to you, or like, responding to your messages. And I feel like It's that really, like, he's taught me patience, hard work, dedication, and promptness. And I think those are such important things to learn for any actor or any being, if you're in the entertainment business. So yeah, so I think that's some like a great learning, and it's a great takeaway for me from and a great relationship that I've built with Bachchan Sahab over the last few years.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing for him to remember to wish you at 12 and reply to messages. It's just, I mean, imagine how many people he has in his life.
Yeah, he does, and I think he's one of the, he's a legend. He's a superstar, and that's exactly what I've learned from him. I've learned humility from him, and I've really learned that no matter what, I get replies from two gentlemen of my life, that's Nasiruddin Shah and Bachchan Sahab. Every time I message them or I reach out, and I think nobody apart from them can be more can be busier. So I've learned how to respond to each and every text that I get, because I think it's very important to do that.
And how lucky, how blessed you are to get to start with legends like Nasiruddin Shah, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, have them as mentors, have them, as learn from them. So it just took you off. It started you off with the right messaging in the industry.
As we say ना कि वो सुर सही लगना चाहिए
Yeah,
acting में,
लग
तो
गया.
मेरा सुर ठीक ही लग गया. I think I was quite happy to be working with both of them.
More than
Yeah.
ठीक लगा. Yeah, so now let's get to Lipstick. Lipstick Under My Boot.
Yes.
How was that, and how was that received? It was such a different kind of a role to do, very bold.
So that also has a really interesting story, because when I was doing Yudh, and I remember it was the month of March, and we were shooting for Yudh, and Alankrita, I got a message from a friend of mine. His name is Sameer Sharma. He's a filmmaker. He's made Love Shop Te Chicken Khurana, and he's Shanu's brother. And I used to be assisting Shanu, so that's how Sam and I know each other. So Sam called me one day, and he was like, "There's a friend of mine, Alankrita. She's making a film called Lipstick. Lipstick Wale Sapne. That's what it's called. It was called. She was like, she's got a very interesting script, and she's looking for a girl, and she's looking for a feisty girl. And I've just go meet her. So I went and met Alankrita, and I remember I just walked into this cafe coffee day, which is in South Bangla, in Versova. And I met Lanky, and she just gave me the script. She's like, "Please read it and let me know what you think." And I said, "Great." And I went home, I read the script, and I was like, wow, like, what is this? Like, who writes a film like this? Like, I've never read anything like this. I've never read characters like this written for, and I was like, who's going to play this 60-year-old, and who's going to play this 40-year-old, and who's going to play this 30-year-old? So there were lots of questions, and I was like, how has she thought of these characters? Like, it's really strange. Anyway, so I asked, I said, I went checked with my AD, because it was around the same time that Yudh was being shot. And I checked with my AD, my chief AD, and I said, "Do you think you'll be able to give me some time off from shoot, or whatever, if I do this film?" He was like, "Ahana, I can't like touch Mr. Bachchan's dates. Please, like, do not ask me." And that happens a lot, like in our business, like because he's such a mega star, and and I was a newcomer, so there was no way I could like even get past this whole ordeal. And I told Alankrita, I said, "I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll be available I won't be available in those months that you're asking me to." Because the shoot was in Bhopal. So she said, "Okay, no problem." And I think we kind of parted ways, and I felt terrible about saying no for the film. And then a few months later, I got a call from the casting directors, Shruti and Parag. And then they called me, and they were like, "There's a film that we are doing, we're casting, and I think you've met the director earlier." And I was like, "What film is this?" And they were like, "It's about 4 women and their lives." And I'm just like, 1 minute, this film hasn't been shot. They were like, "No, it was supposed to be shot in March, but some issues happened, and now it's kind of pushed to like September. So September, October, something." I said, "What?" I can't believe, like, nobody's like they've not shot this film. And then it kind of like, I was just like, okay, now this is just karmic. Maybe I'm just meant to do this film, because it cannot come to you twice. And it happened that I, auditioned, and I did a workshop, and then Lanky convinced Mr. Prakash Jha to cast me for that part. And yeah, I got the part. And when we started shooting, we did a lot of Bhopali accent training. Then we did a little bit of workshops, for scenes and everything. And it was a very interesting process, because I worked with Vikrant for the first time, and I really enjoyed working with him. And I realized on set that, that not only me, even he was very nervous about doing those scenes. And I was like, "Yaar, ye to ladka hai. Why is he nervous, Then I realized that I don't think that it matters whether you're a girl or a boy. I think these intimacy is something that is not everybody's comfortable with, you know. And both Vikrant and I were in the same boat. So we used to make sure that, you know, the set was really closed, like a closed set. And then Lanki was very, you know, integral in making us, you know, comfortable. And I think somewhere, you know, our crew was very nice because they had a tremendous amount of respect for the actors, you know, and they were very nice about, you know, that they knew that all of us were doing this for the first time. And, you know, I think our crew was really one of the most beautiful parts of shooting that film. We never felt that we were shooting in a very big crew. There were always close sets, but it always felt comfortable. It never felt out of place or uncomfortable or, you know, that I shouldn't be doing this at this point of time. And I think like it was really nice to be shooting that film. Anyways, that film got shot, and then for 2 years I did not hear anything from Lanki. And I got busy. I started doing TV. I was doing sports. I was doing sports anchoring for Pro Kabaddi. And you know, I was just like all over the place with, like, I was just experimenting with what I want to do in life and what is it that I can do. And I got a call from Lanki, and she was like, I want you to come to Tokyo with me. And I said, what do you mean Tokyo? I said, it's not like you're asking me to come to Pune. You're asking me to go to Japan. It's really far. And I said, I don't have the money to do it. And then she was like, no, we really have to set the ball rolling. The film has been selected in the Tokyo International Film Festival and it's premiering there. So I said, really? And she was like, yeah. I said, oh, that's really big. So she was like, I don't have anyone to go with, so I'm going to take you and Plavita with me. So I remember Plavita and I, we kind of got on a call and both of us are like, should we go? Should we? I don't know. And I had never been to a film festival. I didn't know what film festivals were like and what they were about. And we happened to go to Tokyo with Lanki. We walked the red carpet on the same day as Meryl Streep walked the red carpet. So everybody in Tokyo Film Festival, it's really nice. It's a very nicely done festival. If you've ever been there or have seen it, what they do at Tokyo is like there's one red carpet for everybody, and every film participating from all across the globe, they all walk the red carpet on the same day. So you're literally like sharing a red carpet with Shinzo Abe and you know and Meryl Streep. We shared our red carpet with them, and the film premiered. The first time we saw the film was with a Japanese audience, and I kid you not, I could not understand whether they liked the film or they did not, because the Japanese are not like Indians, you know, who go like ha ha ha, like, you know, they're very they're not very expressive, you know, in terms of like their emotions. So the audience especially. So when we were watching, their laughter was just like, and I'm just like, are they liking it? Are they not liking it? Because I'm loving the film and I don't understand. And then after the film got over, there was a long line of women and they came and hugged Alankrita and they were like, how did you know our story? And I was like, what the heck? And I think for me, that's when the film became real. I was like, I'm in a country like Japan, which is, I think, one of the most advanced countries in the world. And it is the same story of the women all across the globe. So it's not only in India. Like, it's imagine like we're talking about a small story which happened in Bhopal and it's resonated with an audience in Japan. So I think like for me, it really like crossed borders. It crossed dimensions. It crossed cultures. It crossed everything. And it literally became a universal story. And then I think I got the opportunity to travel with the film to IFLA. And I was very excited to, you know, go to the festival because I really wanted to see what happens in film festivals and what other films can I watch. And I think that's where it kind of, you know, became real for me because I went from IFLA, then I came to Dallas, and then I came to Austin, and then I, you know, went to New York, and I went to all the film festivals, and I really saw the reaction of the film in different parts of the country, and it really was the same. And I remember all of you all loving it, and everywhere, like the screening happened, the theaters were running full. I remember everybody always telling us that people are sitting on the aisle and watching the film, and I was like, really? So I think it was so exciting for all of us that this film became so real for all of us. And that's when it got banned in India, and then Ekta picked it up, and then it became like a war, and then it kind of like, you know, it's like a 4 crore film that made like 22 crores. So it was a huge deal for all of us, huge deal. So I think for me, Lipstick will probably be the most um, remarkable film of my career. I'm very grateful to Alankrita for casting me in that film, you know, for believing in me playing Leela, because if I had not been part of that narrative, it wouldn't have changed my perspective of being a woman in the film industry. So I think that's really like been my turning point.
Yeah, and you did fabulous. You represented Leela. Like there isn't an ounce of you like her, but you did that role so well. I mean, besides you're being active and she's little active too, but that's different. And I remember, you're right. Even in Austin, when you were telling me, uh, the movie was completely sold out, completely full, and then everyone was calling that we want to see it. So I think Indie Meme Film Festival brought this film, and so Indie Meme decided to anyway call these people, because there are some people like the badge holders are sometimes no shows, so they double booked it. That's only one time in the history of Indie Meme. I think they've done double bookings like that. And I think pretty much everyone got in, and there were chairs. People, the volunteers and all the Indie Meme people just sat on the floors and just hung out standing.
I remember watching that film behind everybody, like in a packed auditorium, and I was standing behind and watching it, and I was just like, okay, I've seen it a lot of times, like I'll just watch a little bit of it. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, why am I watching it again? It's really funny.
Yeah, because and for everyone, just know, if you haven't watched Lipstick Under My Burqa, it's available on Amazon Prime. We are doing a lot of binge watching for movie series these days. So this is definitely a must-go movie right now. Yeah. I mean, it's been out for a long time, so you might have seen it. It'll change it'll change many things in everyone who watches it. Because it represents 4 different women of different color, different caste, different creed, different ages, 55-year-old women showing. I've never even thought about that. So she did. It was a fabulous movie to watch, absolutely. And I remember, I mean, those were some of the, and every year Indie Meme says, oh, this is our lipstick. It has become like a brand. This movie is
happy to hear that.
Yeah, ask Alka and Tripti. Oh, this is our lipstick this year. And this guest who's coming is our Ahana.
I really got along with everybody there. My God, I really miss like Alka, Tripti, Geetika, Shweta. God, I really remember everybody, each and every one of them who like made me feel at home. I really, really, truly miss Dallas and Austin. Truly miss it.
Yeah, I know. So you have to come back.
I know, I should. Bring a film back.
We'll do a film and we can screen that film. And so at this point, we'll take a short break and we'll be back right after the break. We have lots to talk about her series Betal that's trending in Netflix right now, and all the good stuff that Ahana has to share. So we'll be right back.